after the fact. Alright. I am sitting in traffic. Hi, Gemma. How are we doing? Hang on one second here. I think I can work this out where y'all can see me. There we go. If I turn the light out, I won't be able to read, though. Hang on one second. But if I do something like this, perhaps. Yeah, there we go. Shield y'all from the light. So now that's what I need. I need something to block the light. Ha ha. Let me shut this noisy thing off. And then maybe y'all can hear me. That might help too. There we go. Look at there. Smarter than the average bear. Except this might be a little bit there. By the way, the airborne pills really work. So I'm here waiting to unload what they call crane mats. These are well, if you see the truck in front of me in the thumbnail, really large pieces of wood timbers that have been bolted together with really long, really thick bolts. And they'll lay them down in the mud and muck, and then the crane can go across them, because even track vehicles get stuck in the mud sometimes. And I've been sitting here for quite a while, so much so that the light coming on to let me know I'm down to an eighth a tank of fuel. I was just under half a tank when I got here. So usually I would try to amuse myself with the guitar, but I was in the mood to read tonight, and as Miss Elaine, the mama, can tell y'all, I don't read often, but when I do get the reading bug, it sticks around for a little while. So, oh yeah, we got all kind of mud around here now, all kinds of mud. All right, so I'm gonna divert my attention from the screen to the book, so pardon me for not following along, but I will catch back up and scroll and see what all I've missed when I'm done here. As the title explains, this is a poem. Yes, there are some of us truckers who like poetry. This is a poem by Henry Timrod titled The Lily Confidante. Lily, lady of the garden, let me press my lips to thine. Love must tell its story, Lily. Listen thou to mine. Two, I choose to know the secret, thee and yonder wordless flute. Dragons watch me, tender Lily, and thou must be mute. There's a maiden, and her name is Hist. What that? Was that a rose leaf that fell? See, the rose is listening, Lily, and the rose may tell. Lily browed and lily hearted, she is very dear to me. Lovely? Yes, if being lovely is resembling thee. 6 to half a score of summers make the sweetest of the teens. Not too young to guess, dear Lily, what a lover means. Laughing girl and thoughtful woman, I am puzzled how to woo. Shall I praise or pique her, Lily? Tell me what to do. Silly lover, if thy Lily, like her sister lilies be, thou must woo if thou wouldst wear her with a simple plea. Love's the lover's only magic, truth the very subtlest art. Love that feigns and lips that flatter win no modest heart. Like the dewdrop in my bosom, be thy guileless language youth. Falsehood buyeth falsehood only, truth must purchase truth. As thou takest at the fireside, as thou talkest at the fireside with the little children by, as thou prayest in the darkness when thy God is nigh. With a speech as chaste and gentle, and such meanings as become, ear of child or ear of angel, speak or be thou dumb. Woo her thus, and she shall give thee of her heart the sinless whole, all the girl within her bosom and her woman's soul. And that is dated 1858. This little book here has been around a while. It is called American Poems. Y'all can't really see because it's kind of dark out here. So, American Poems, published by the University of Chicago Press, November 1916. And the poems go back, like if you ever read the King James Bible, the Old English and the King James Bible, well, these poems go all the way back to that same type of Old English. In fact, if I remember correctly, the King James Bible was commissioned in 1633. These poems in this book go as far back as 1625 up to 1892. So there it is. Now let's see what all I've missed with y'all. When I have the phone sideways, I like it better when it's up and down, but when it's up and down, y'all get a little pillar of me in the middle and then two black blocks on each side. So let's see what all I've missed here. Can I do that from off? You sure I can? Yes, poetry. I like poetry. No, I did not write it. It was written by Henry Timrod. And yep, 1858. So anyhow, so who's still here? Who's here? I am actually surprised the mama is not here, so she must have already turned in for the night. Okay. Well, that was just a quick little something just to show y'all that I am actually educated. So some poems, there's a lot of these poems in here that are of the Civil War era, and I'm fascinated with history of the Civil War, but poetry about such things is, I don't know, it's kind of awkward for me. So, but anyhow, I'm still sitting here waiting for this guy in front of me to move. Every time a truck moves forward, each of us, I don't know how many there are in line, there's several of us, and every time one of us moves forward, another one moves forward, and we all keep inching forward waiting. I don't know what's taking so long to unload. It's such a big emergency to get up here, and then we get up here and do nothing but a whole bunch of sitting still. Like I said, I'm to the point, if they keep this up, I'll run out of fuel before they ever get me unloaded. So, but anyhow, so I didn't know I could change screens when I was on live stream, go back and forth like this. Okay. So let's see what all here. Yeah, it is. It is is it IRA? Is that how you say that? IRAY? So I would usually say IRA, but IRA? Is that how you say that? I am on Central Time. I'm O'Fallon, Missouri, which is near St. Louis, and it is currently 11:30 at night here. So I had decided, usually I imagine by now everybody IRA, okay. I'd imagine by now everybody's gotten tired of me with the guitar. And I post some of my guitar videos lately because I haven't had any van videos to post. I've made a couple trucking videos, but I'm still trying to get those edited. And my laptop, once it starts heating up, it stops working like it's supposed to. So then I just put pause on all that till later. 7:30 in the morning or in the evening there. So nickel and dime, what up, brother? So doing okay. Just here. Let me nickel and dime here. Let me show you where I'm at here, my friend. I am there. I'm right behind another truck waiting to get unloaded. So what was this one here now? Hello, random lady. But yeah, the load that you can barely see on this guy's truck. If I hit my high beams, if that would help any. Yeah, you see that they're logs that have been cut square and then bolted together to make a platform that'll lay in the mud for cranes and large trucks to drive over. And apparently now the frost line has thawed in the northern Missouri area here. Everything is sinking. So they had this emergency. They've been ordering these from all over the country. There's 4 of us from the same trucking company up here that are bringing these in. And this great emergency that they're having, we get here and then do all kinds of waiting to get unloaded. And I've been here for several hours now, and about right at 3 hours, and I'm idling my fuel away to keep the heat going, so much so that if they don't get me unloaded before long, I'm running out of fuel right here in line waiting to unload. So let's see here. Okay, it's evening where IRA is. All right, 7:30 in the evening. Yeah, usually, random lady, my drops go kind of quick, actually. They, yeah, I drive a tractor trailer IRA. They, on average, 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe at the most, and I'm out of there, you know. But we went from one side of the railroad tracks facing north to turn around where there's a boat dock back here, and then come back now by the same set of railroad tracks facing south. Waiting. I can't show you because it's so dark, but well, let me see. I don't think you can see. They got lights on over there. Let's see. Hang on one second. Now, by the right corner of this guy's trailer, which would be right where the center of the hood is on my truck, directly above that white light right there, what you can't see from there, that's the light that's where the crane is at. The crane is sticking way up in the air from there, basically just to the left of that little white light. And I'm waiting my turn to get unloaded, but I haven't seen them do anything with that crane in a little bit. So I don't know what the emergency was, but my boss told me, don't stop for nothing, just get it there. I was okay, so, you know, get my fuel when I leave, no problem. Well, yeah, it's becoming a problem. So, but anyhow, here we go back to looking at me again. This is kind of scary, but this is what I do. Usually by now I'd be back in the sleeper, either taking a nap or playing guitar or something. More than likely playing guitar, because I need to kind of keep an eye on the trucks in front of me. Every time one moves up, we all have to move up. And then another way of amusing myself from time to time is just, of course, sit here and play on the phone and YouTube or wherever. When all else fails, if it's not too bad, cold, or wet outside, I take Miss Shelby out for a walk, and then we play when she's done doing her business. But she's asleep over there, and it's really cold out. It's right about 30 degrees, I think it is, and which is Fahrenheit for those of y'all who are in other countries, on Celsius. So, well, I'm missing things here, I see. No, it's not snowing. It had been snowing here this past week, but the temperature has gone up some, and it is now, in fact, right now, it's cold wind, everything's freezing. But they say tomorrow it's supposed to be 60 degrees. You want to see me play? All right. Let's see here. Whoop, hang on a second. I'm pressing things I shouldn't be. Well, the paycheck, sometimes, yes, I do. I sing IRA. The paycheck is sometimes pretty decent, but most times, a lot of the runs at this particular company I work for, they'll keep me 400 miles or less, and every now and then I'll get one 500 or 600 miles, but very rarely. Last weekend, or was it the weekend before, I had a load that I picked up in Tyler, Texas, which is, or was it Tyler? No, in Shiner, Texas. And Shiner, Texas is just a little ways east out of San Antonio. I picked that load up on a Friday afternoon, right about lunchtime, going 430 miles, give or take, maybe 460. I think it was right about 430, to Noble, Oklahoma, which is basically the south side of Oklahoma City. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It delivers Monday morning. So I've got 3 days, basically. I got all of Saturday and Sunday, half of Friday, and half of Monday. I've got 3 days to get this load, not even a full day's drive. And now, that would be no big deal if I got paid commission and if it paid good enough. But getting paid by the mile, yeah, that if you're gonna not be able to get a guy home on the weekend, then run his ass off. Give him a load, 1,000, 1,200 miles. You can easily do 600 miles a day, 700 or better if you're really trying. But easily 600, so give the guy a load that goes 1,200 miles. But everything they do is just these little short hops, and then they'll do some little short hop somewhere else. And at the end of this past week, I did for the whole week, I did 1,200 and some, like 1,225 miles, 1,265, something like that. And I'm used to doing 3,000 and better, anywhere from 3,000 to 3,800. Now, years ago, before e-logs, I'd be able to log as many as 4,000, 4,300 miles, and appear to be legal. So notice the word appear. You can't do that anymore on e-logs. These electronic logs, there's not much you can do to fictionalize anything. So therefore, if it took you 5 hours to do a 3-hour drive, it gets logged in 5 hours. That's just the way it is. So, well, Iray, because I'm in my work clothes and everything, I'm not going to pull out my guitar right now. But on Sunday nights at 6 p.m. my time, now, like I said, right, it's 7:30 p.m. your time right now, and it's 11:30 p.m. here. So that puts me right at 5 hours ahead of you. So at 6 p.m. my time would be 1 o'clock in the afternoon your time, wherever you're at. Every Sunday I play guitar anywhere from 1 to 4 hours. I can take requests, and I sit out here and I sing. Let's see here. Yeah, the 10-hour rule, it's years ago how it used to be. It was 10 hours of driving and then 8 hours off. Now it's 11 hours of driving and 10 hours off. But you used to be able to do what they call a split sleeper berth, and therefore you can kind of work out 5, drive 5, sleep 4, drive 5. You can't do that anymore. Now you can take 2 hours off, and then if you take another 8 hours off, that stops the clock for those 8 hours, and then you can continue on again. But if you're going to do that, you may as well just take the other 2 hours off and then start fresh all over. So, but let's see what we got going on here. Don't want to miss anything anybody says here. So I get paid by the mile. In other words, if I drive 600 miles, then of course, well, it's not how many miles I drive, it's how many miles the computer says it is from destination to destination, and not addresses. If you drive from the farthest point east of one town to the farthest point west of another town, but the post office of each of those towns is actually closer. So the post office of the town that you're picking up is actually all the way to the west of that town, and the post office you're delivering is all the way to the east of that town. Then that means the amount of time it took you, especially if they're two big cities like Atlanta and Los Angeles, there's a lot of time invested just getting from the city limits to the other side of town. But wherever the post office is, that's how a lot of these computer mileage programs work. It's post office to post office. And in America, when you drive through across the interstates, and you'll see the signs, they'll say Pueblo, Colorado, so many miles. What that's telling you is the distance from where you're at to the post office, not to the city limits. But yeah, these programs run post office to post office, so I get paid but whatever the computer program says. So, random lady, you're in Alabama, I take it. Most truckers do. There's always some that think the life's all about them, but most understand. And doubles in Hawaii, 20. No, by doubles and then 20 straight. You mean 20 hours straight? That makes for a long day. I wonder what it's like in Australia and people who run the bush. I mean, I'm sure they still got rules once you get out there. I mean, that's something different, I'm sure. But hang on one second here. Let's see what's going on out in front of me here. This guy is telling people something, either to move forward again or... Hang on one second. Let me see what he's got to say. So.
Go ahead and follow in. You gotta get on this side and keep your ass over it.
Okay, so wherever he's going, I want to stay to his left.
He's gonna go to the left. You both are gonna be on this side of the road.
Okay.
Get behind that other truck that's up there.
All right, so just get right behind of him.
Yeah. Stand up for both of them. Be like this. Keep your trailer over on this side.
Okay.
All right.
All right, it's time for me to go to work, y'all. Uh-oh, if the truck will start. Hang on one second here. I'm not sure if it's the starter or the ignition switch in the dash, but one of them, I think it's the ignition switch in the dash. One of them ain't playing very nice. There we go. All right. So I will let y'all follow me up that far, and then I will have to disengage from this conversation because it's time for me to go to work. Let's see here now. Oh, happy day, because the last thing I want is to run out of fuel. Did I just see Benny? Is that Benny in here? Hi, Benny. How are you? Let me, 1 second here. All right. Don't I look pretty in my work gear? All right. So we are getting ready to get unloaded. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Woohoo! All right. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, whatever they're building, but they need these big old blocks they're 16 foot long, by the way. They're about 10 inches by 10 inches square and 16 feet long. There's 3 each bolted together, and what they'll do is they'll pick them off with the forklift here and they'll lay them out on the ground so that the construction equipment and specifically the cranes can drive across them. So that's what you see on the back of that truck there, except his are painted pretty blue, mine are bare wood. And hang on there, the man said keep my trailer over, so I gotta get myself a little bit further up that way. The thing about maneuvering a big rig isn't where you put the truck, but where you put the trailer that matters. That usually means taking another stab at it because the trailer won't follow the same track as your stair axle does. So. All right. So just like that. No, I haven't hit that guy's truck. I'm pretty close to him. I'm about maybe 5 foot away. So Benny, how have you been? I've missed the last few of your live streams. So yeah, nothing like life on the road. Oh joy. You just missed some poetry. I just read some poetry. So you'll have to come back after I post, I finish this up here and post this. So well, just like that other fella out there, I need to get out here and get mine unchained too. So y'all, thanks for stopping by. I was just wanting to do a little bit of reading because I just didn't know exactly what to do. I didn't feel like getting out of my work clothes just to go play guitar. So, but Sunday night, y'all, 6 p.m. Central Time, we will be doing all kinds of guitar singing. what I like to call music, mouthiness, and Michelob. So 4 generations of truckers. Benny, I knew I liked you for one reason or another. That, and you got good taste in music. All right. So, all right, y'all, I have to go. And I do appreciate y'all stopping by. And we will, Ira, don't forget Sunday night, 6 p.m. So that'd be, like I said, 1 p.m. your time. Come on by. Music, mouthiness, and Michelob. I will take care of all 3. Y'all just come on by. Free admission. All right, gotta go. See y'all later. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye, y'all. Right here, right. I can't let one more second. What? There we go. Bye. All right, I gotta pull some change, y'all. I thank y'all for stopping by. Stop by Sunday night. I really enjoy doing that. It's starting to have a good following with all that. So, and if I have to pull over, Benny, because I have my bell for you. I have your bell clicked on my, so that I get notified. If I have to, I promise the next time you go live, I'll pull over if I've got to. I'm not going to miss your next live stream. So we'll see y'all when we see you. Take care. Be good to each other. Bye now.